What's up guys, welcome to a new episode of Filmmaking Friday. Today we're going to talk all about camera shot types.
Filmmaking Friday.
Welcome back. Today we're going to dive into the world of camera shot types. We'll cover a variety of shots from the establishing shot to the extreme close-up and how they can help to tell your story in the most effective way. So let's dive right in. Different camera shot types tell you how much of the frame your subject or object occupies in relation to the environment that surrounds them. Wide, medium, close-up, let's work our way in. First up, let's talk about the establishing shot. This is a shot typically used at the beginning of a scene to show the audience where the action is taking place. An establishing shot is often a wide or even aerial view of a location like a city skyline, a house, or landscape. The goal is to give the audience a sense of place and context for the upcoming scene. You can use establishing shots to orient the audience and set up the location before cutting to a more detailed action. They're especially useful in films, TV shows, and documentaries where the setting plays an important role in the story. You can also use establishing shots to set the mood or tone of a scene. For example, a rain-soaked street can foreshadow a dramatic or tense moment, while a sunny beach might suggest a light, joyful scene. Or you intentionally make it the other way around to really surprise your audience. I remember a scene taking place on a sunny beach and suddenly terrorists attack. Next up is the master shot, which captures the entire scene from a wide angle, including all the characters and key action. A master shot, or short master, is a film recording of an entire dramatized scene, start to finish, from a camera angle that keeps all the players in view. A master shot typically shows the whole scene from a distance that allows the audience to see all the characters and their positions relative to one another. This lets the viewer know who is in the scene and what is happening where to easier follow the action. The master shot serves as a backbone for the scene, ensuring that you have a full recording of the action. This is useful for editing as it provides coverage to cut back if needed. It's often used in dialogue-heavy scenes to establish the spatial relationship between characters. One tip: if you're shooting for coverage, shoot the master shot first, then move in for close-ups and other angles. This approach will help you maintain continuity in the edit. Now let's take a look at the wide shot and long shot, as they are very similar but still different. Both shots show the subject from a distance, capturing their full body and some of the surrounding environment. A wide shot, which can also be called a full shot, is typically used to establish the setting and show the character's place within it. While a long shot focuses on the character from a distance, this can also mean showing the character in full from far away on a zoomed-in lens. In a wide shot, the subject appears small within the frame, giving more attention to the environment or setting. It's perfect for showing where the character is. Wide shots are often used to show a character moving within a space or to establish relationships between multiple characters in a scene. It's also great for action sequences where you want to show the full range of movement. Think about what the background or environment can add to the story. Is the character isolated in a vast open space, or are they part of a bustling crowd? A wide shot can help convey that narrative visually. Next up, the medium full shot, or cowboy shot, which frames the subject from the knees up. The medium full shot allows the viewer to see the subject's body language and some of the surrounding environment while still keeping the focus on the person. They're often used in Western films, hence the nickname cowboy shot, because they also capture the gun holster area. Use medium full shots to show character interactions where both facial expressions and body language are important. It provides more detail than a wide shot while still giving some environmental context. Moving in closer, we have a medium close-up, which frames the subject from the chest or shoulders up. The medium close-up shot gives a more intimate view of the subject, focusing on facial expressions and upper body language. This shot type is perfect for dialogue scenes where you want to capture a character's emotions without getting too close. It's commonly used in interviews, documentaries, and dramatic moments. Now let's focus on the close-up shot, which frames a character's face or a specific detail closely. Close-up shots fill the frame with the subject's face or a small specific detail. They capture facial expressions in detail, making them ideal for conveying emotion. Close-ups are great for showing a character's emotional reaction or drawing attention to important details like a hand gesture, an object, or a piece of text. It's often used in dramatic moments to show intense feelings. While close-ups are effective for showing emotion, using them too often can lose their impact. Finally, we have the extreme close-up shot, which focuses on an even smaller detail, like for example just the eye of a subject or an object. Extreme close-ups magnify a small part of the subject, such as the eyes, lips, or even an object like a ticking clock or a drop of water. This shot type is often used to heighten intensity or draw attention to something significant. For example, an extreme close-up of a character's eye can emphasize fear or determination, while a shot of a clock moving can add tension. Extreme close-ups can feel jarring or intense because of their magnified focus. Use them sparingly to create a strong impact or symbolize something important in the story. So how do you decide which shot type to use for your scene? Here are some tips. As always, consider the story. Think about the emotions or ideas you want to convey, use wider shots to establish context, medium shots to capture interactions, and close-ups for emotional impact. Next up, the subject's importance. The closer you get to the subject, the more importance you give them in the frame. Use close-ups for key characters or significant details, and not for unimportant things just because you can. This is very often done with close-ups or extreme close-ups. Use them sparingly when it's important and makes sense. And the last tip, pacing and editing. Consider how the different shot types will flow together in the edit. You can create a rhythm by varying the shot types or build tension by moving from wide to close-up as the scene progresses. For example, having wide shot after wide shot after wide shot can be very boring. And last but not least, rules are there to be broken. Once you master the rules, feel free to be creative by creating a movie just out of extreme close-ups or do an entire sequence in an establishing shot. I don't know. Now that's it for today's episode on camera shot types. I really hope you found it informative and useful. As always, if you have any questions left, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. Next week, we're going to talk all about camera movement. So stay tuned for that. And also don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on it. See you next week.